I know it's very important. Bullying has affected us all since we were kids. It affects us starting out from school, or it could be starting out from home with your siblings and everything. But it also could start out with um, being at home with your family, and how far bullying goes till it's too far, right? When is enough enough? And there's a lot of things that brings you to bullying, okay? 20%, that's 1 out of 5 middle school and high school students report being bullied each year. Youth who if- eh, Youth who are bullied are increased risk of depression, anxiety, sleep difficulties, lower academic achievements, and dropping out of school. Now, this is based on 2019. Almost all forms of bullying peak in middle school. Specifically, sixth grade students report the highest percentage of bullying. And of course, you got cyberbullying, which individuals who experience cyberbullying at some point in their lifetimes have more than doubled from 18% from 2007 to 37% in 2019. Now, that is crazy if you think about it. Over 60% of the students who experience cyberbullying reports that immensely impacted their ability to learn and feel safe while at school. So we see that it starts out with a large number in middle school, 6th grade, going further. People get bullied. Some kids may think, "Hey, we're just playing around, we're joshing them, uh, just seeing how far they can go." But this, we don't know what goes on in their homes. We don't know what happens when they leave school, but yet we're going and we're making fun of people. Now, when I was in school, I knew several kids that would get bullied, and I was always for the underdog. I wanted to make sure that these people that could not defend themselves, which were getting bullied, I wanted to defend them. It was my God's given right to defend them. People would deal and make fun of mentally challenged individuals. They would call them retards. They would call them idiots. They would just make fun of them, and they would hurt these individuals' feelings. And sometimes they wouldn't know any different, and they'd make fun of them, call them retard and idiots, and laugh, and they don't know any different, so they laugh along with them. They would tell her, "Hey, if you want to be my friend, go over there and pull that girl's hair." So they would walk over there and pull the girl's hair, and then she'd slap him and call him a freak or something, and then the guys would laugh, and so that person would laugh because they were laughing, but they that individual thought they were laughing because he pulled that prank. He pulled that girl's hair, but in all reality, they were laughing because that girl called him an idiot, a freak. And that used to just upset me all the time. Hearing stuff like this would upset me because that is not the right thing to do. And I would defend them, and I would take them in and put them under my wing and shelter them from people that would bully them. It's just not right. And I've been thinking about this over and over and over, and when you get to that state, and it doesn't even matter if they're mentally challenged. It's just say a normal human being. If that normal human being was being bullied, we don't know what's going on at home, right? But let's before we even get there, let's talk about what bullying means. Bullying is a behavior that has been historically been linked to kids on the playground, but it can happen among people at any age, at any setting, school, households, workplace. So the main question observers of such conduct has is, why do we bully others? According to the latest research, they have discovered that 1 out of 2 have experienced bullying some form in the last 12 months. And trust us when they say this, we know how difficult it is when they go through it, especially if you don't fully understand the psychology of bullying. What is bullying? Although there is no singular definition of bullying because it comes in all shapes, sizes, it can also simplify the unwanted behavior from one person to another, designed to hurt, harm, or cause distress to them. So, in all reality, let's talk about it. You can bully anywhere. You can bully at home, you can bully at school, you can bully at work. But when is enough of bullying? Now, cracking jokes, having fun, picking on people, I get it, okay? But what if you go too far? What if you go too far when you're bullying somebody? And then that person can't take the bullying. They can't take the stress. They don't understand why people bully them. And something happens, right? In all reality, people hurt other people because they're not happy with their life. People hurt other people because they're not happy in their life. Things are not going on in their life that make them happy. And I'm sure everybody in their life have been around people or know somebody that has bullied somebody. And when you stand back, and it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be whatever, and you sit back and you observe. You observe of what this person's doing, and you realize they're not happy at home. They're not happy with what goes on at their house. So they're depressed. They're depressed and they don't know how to handle it. So if they're depressed, they want to find somebody that they believe is weaker than them to bully them to make them feel good because they're not getting that at home. Okay. What does this cause? Bullying causes people to be depressed, anxious, out of their state of mind. They don't feel good about themselves. They have low self-esteem. Things happen. And one of those things that happen is suicide. I read the other day that this young gentleman committed suicide because he was being bullied at school. He was being bullied at school, so he went home and he hung himself in his closet with his hoodie, his favorite hoodie. And then his family caught him and they ripped the hoodie from from the little bar that was hanging him from. And the father was trying to revive him to wake him back up to get him to start breathing again. This was a very intelligent boy, very sociable boy, but he would come home and he would be perfectly fine, wouldn't let people know what was happening to him. And then one day he cracked. He couldn't accept it anymore. So he took his own life. 13-year-old. Now I don't know how those other kids felt after they found out the little boy killed himself. But the kid was 13. People do it all the time from teenage years all the way up to adulthood. This is a very, very, very serious subject. You know, by the record, the percentages of people that commit suicide, and this was recorded in 2017, so it's been quite a long time. They say 50% of the people that commit suicide is by diagnosed mental problems. What kind of mental problems? They didn't specify, but It's due to the reason people probably bullied him. Okay, 31% was recent or upcoming crisis. 27% was intimate partner problems. Alcohol was 18%. Substance abuse 18%. Arguments with somebody 16%. Job problems 10%. Family problem 10%. Financial problem 9%. Legal problem 8%. Death of a loved one 7%. Where in here can you see that it was due to bullying? Would you diagnose it to a mental problem, an upcoming crisis? There's too many people right now that are bullying people, and they're not realizing the effect that they're putting on the person they're bullying. We need to stop that. How to prevent bullying? You got bullying, you got cyberbullying, you got sexting, right? You're sexting somebody. Let's see what nearly 24% of teens, nearly 1 out of 4 middle and high school students have been asked to send sexual explicit images. 14% of the teens reported sending these texts with sexually explicit images to older students and boys likely to participate. Now, if you have a daughter, if you have a son, especially people that have daughters, your daughter sends this sexual picture to a boy. The boy is in the locker room, and now he's showing all his friends. They all now have a judgment against her. They think she's a whore. They think she's easy to get in bed. They make fun of her. They start talking about her. They start giving her the eyes. Maybe some other guys will flirt with her to make her seem like she's a whore. That breaks her down, right? It breaks her down. And she has starting to have low self-esteem. She's lost all trust. She's embarrassed. She doesn't want to face anybody. She doesn't want to deal with the consequences of people judging her. So 25 states have enacted legislation to address sexting as of 2018, with penalties ranging from educational programming for first-time offenders to fines, felony charges, or short-term incarceration. If you have kids, people talk to your kids about sexting. Tell them do not send those images of their naked bodies to anybody. That's sacred. That's disgusting. Anybody that does that, even adults, you need to watch what you're doing and think before you act. If you're doing that, don't do it. It will get you in trouble. It will get into the wrong hands. Celebrities do it all the time. It's so ridiculous. It will get into the wrong hands. It could not ruin your life, but in your mind, it's ruining your life. Just don't do it, because then you start doing some self harm. Self harm targets because of bullying. Targets of cyberbullying are at a greater risk to others, both self harm and sexual or suicidal behaviors. 18% of youth report self harming at least once, and about 6% of the students have digitally self harmed or anonymously posted online shared hurtful content about themselves. They're reaching out for help. They're reaching out to try to get people to help them out. But why do we bully? Well, it has been studied that they said that 7,347 respondents have the same questions that are compared to the answers from who have never been bullied. Those who had been bullied at least once, or those who have been bullied other or who bully others daily, they gave a strong scientific and factual data to identify the real reasons why people bully others. One is stress and trauma. Now, the data shows that those who bully are far more likely than average to have experienced a stressful or traumatic situation in the past 5 years. Examples include their parents or guardian splitting up, the death of a relative, or gaining a little brother or sister. Now it makes sense because we respond to stress in different ways. Some of us use positive behaviors such as meditation, exercise, or talking through therapy, all kinds of relief of stress. Others use negative behaviors such as bullying, violence, or drug or alcohol abuse, which temporarily masks the issues of, but actually makes it worse in the long term. The research shows that some people simply do not know how to act positive and they respond to stress. And so the fault of bullying is copying them is the coping mechanism. Now, another form and why they do is aggressive behavior. 66% of all people who admitted that they bullied somebody, they were male. Now, take a minute to think about how guys are raised in the culture of to compare the ways the girls are raised. The moment a guy starts to show any sign of emotion, he is told to man up and stop being a little girl. Now, girls, for you girls, it's encouraged that they speak up about their issues that affect them. Now, for guys, this is discouraged, and so they start to respond in a more aggressive behavior, such as bullying. And this is their way of coping with the issues that affect them. Now, this is why guys are more likely than girls to do physically attack somebody or commit crimes. It is something that they are born with, and it's learned behavior that they actively taught by society using dysfunctional gender norms and roles. Low self esteem is another one. In order to mask how they actually feel about themselves, some people who bully focus attention on someone else. They try to avoid any negative attention directed by them by deflection, but know that they might look in the mirror at home and hate the way they look. There's so much pressure to live up to their beauty, their fitness standards. They are taught to compare themselves to others instead of embracing their own beauty. Self esteem, low self esteem, they have aggressive behaviors, and they have some kind of stress and trauma going on. So they take it to the next level and take it out on other people. We got to stop that. In the workplace, if you're bullying somebody at home, and I know you have HR and you have all these little rules and regulations and reports and stuff like that, but everybody knows behind closed doors, nobody sees it. I don't want to tell on my boss because I'm afraid I'm going to get fired. I'm not going to tell on my supervisor because I'm afraid to get fired, or I'm afraid that it will cost me a promotion. It will cost me moving up into the company. It will cost me a raise or something. And then sooner or later, you quit your job. You can't handle it no more. The manager calls. Why did you quit? Well, I was being bullied. I was being sexually harassed. I was being talked down to. I was being judged by my race, my gender, my sexual preference. It it's it is very embarrassing these days how people treat other people. And it's due to because of discrimination. There's so much stuff going on with people having sex changes or going to a woman, becoming a woman becoming a man, and Bruce Kyle, whatever his name is, Caitlyn Jenner doing what he did. Now it's the right thing to do. I don't care. I don't care what you do. I will treat you the same with respect if you treat me with respect. It's just weird sometimes when you're walking down the sidewalk and you see a boy wearing a skirt and a bra, and you know he's a boy because he has a mustache. It's just weird, but I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge because God has told me not to judge. Only He could judge. But why do people do it? People do it because they're scared. Okay. Did you know that comedians are the most depressed people in the world? I bet you didn't know that, right? They're the most depressed people in the world. Look at Robin Williams, depressed, killed himself. Chris Farley, depressed, committed suicide overdose. John Belushi, same thing. There's so many comedians that have passed away due to being depressed, dying of overdose, or committed suicide. So many people out there that have done things because they can't accept everything in their life. Say, well, maybe he had a mental disorder. Maybe he was depressed. Maybe it's anxiety. Maybe we don't know. But what I do know is the first key is to prevent bullying, which will help prevent suicide. And it starts with our young people. It starts with our kids that we have to stop accepting bullying. If you're a parent, and I know my bully when I was a kid was a girl 2 years younger than me, and she was mean. She was a little firecracker. She was my bully. She was the neighbor bully, and I let her bully me every day. And then one day, my brothers just told me enough is enough. She bullies you again, punch her in the nose, and move on. I did, and she stopped bullying me. If you don't let somebody know that with them bullying you affects your mental state, affects your mindset, and you act like it doesn't matter. Always say mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. Then they will stop. They will not get the satisfaction of you being miserable if you just walk away and don't even act like it bothers you. It used to make me mad when I turn around and I see people bullying other people. Defenseless individuals getting bullied, getting laughed at, getting made fun of, being told they are a retard, being told they are a freak. They cannot help it. They cannot help how they physically look. They cannot help how they mentally look. They cannot help how they look emotionally. And people pick on it. They see their weakness. They're like a shark. They smell blood. They go after them and they attack. It's got to stop. 2 out of 3 students will be willing to step in to defend, support, or assist others being bullied at school or online. The strongest protective factor against being a target of cyberbullying was positive peer interaction. Anti-bullying programs effectively reduce bullying perception by 19 to 20%. We just got to stop. Stop discriminating. Stop making fun of LGBTQ people. They experience 8 out of 10 who identified that are LGBTQ individuals have experienced harassment or assault in school. And approximately 135,200 individuals allocations of harassment, bullying based on their sex, race, sexual orientation, disability, or religion are the ages of 15 to 16. Students with specific learning disabilities, autism, emotional or behavior disorders, or other impairments, health impairments, and speech or language impairments report greater rates of bullying than their peers without disabilities. That is ridiculous. We need to put a stop to it. Now, there's other reports and stats saying reasons they get bullied. They get bullied themselves, difficult of home life, low access to education and relationships. How do we deal with bullying? How do you stop making people feel sad, unhappy, worried, stressed, frightened on a regular basis? Stop. Say enough is enough. Find people that will support you, that will stand behind you, that will pick you up, give you self-esteem, be your voice. It's okay to stand up and defend yourself. Find people that will help defend you, but you do not have to take the punishment. We need to take a stop to it now. Too much suicide. Too many of these young kids that are our future are getting to the point they're taking their own lives because they can't handle the stress. Where is the organizations? Where is the people that will help stop the abuse that these kids are receiving? When is there going to be things for kids to go to? People who kids can talk. They got school counselors. What are these school counselors doing in their schools? They're not counseling. They're not helping. I'll tell you one example. My daughter, she had a problem in junior high. I caught her with cuts on her arm. I said, "What is that?" She said, "Oh, I was just playing around." I went to the school and said, "What part of this did you not see?" "Oh, they're just kids." I said, "So you knew about it?" "Absolutely. Yeah, we were aware of what was going on." I said, "How is she cutting herself?" "Well, they have those pencil sharpeners with the really thin razor on them, and they take the screw out, and then they just cut their arm." I said, "If my daughter passes away in your school bathroom, I will own the school district. They will be changing the names on every school. They will have my name on every school. I will own. I will sue for every stinking dollar. My name will be put on every school. Ron Garverick High School, Ron Garverick Junior High, Ron Garverick Elementary. That is not right. When are we going to stop? There's got to be programs in our schools. There's got to be places where people could come to, young individuals can come to and have a conversation on what is going on in their lives and how they are being bullied and how they could take care of it and how they could fix the issue. They should have programs in homes, in I'm not homes, but in workplaces. So if you are being sexually harassed, if you are being bullied, because of your gender, your race, your sex, your sexual orientation, your disability, or your religion beliefs. You have to have a program to take care of this, not a freaking HR program where you get written up. You need to have a program because that person is mentally not stable. They are not having things going on good in their life. They need to sit and have a conversation with a chaplain or with somebody that has a degree that can help them with their life and help them get back on track in a more positive way. But we are not doing that. And so many people are going home and they're taking their own lives because they are being bullied. We need to stop that now. We need to start working on making things better. We feed off of negativity. We feed off of what's on TV. We feed on what's on social media. We feed on everything that is not positive in our lives. And that's what we go for. TV shows have negativity. TV shows talk about bullshit. We need to stop and look at the biggest picture in the world, and that is our future of our children. And until we get that realization that we stop and we take charge of loving somebody, and no matter what their condition is, their mental condition, their physical condition, their emotional condition, we feed off of positivity. We love them for who they are. We motivate them to be better. We motivate them to be a better person, have a better positive mindset, build a better future, and take all this negativity that feeds on that damn TV, feeds on social media, and we take it and we shove it up their ass and we say, We had enough. We had enough of the negativity. We have enough of the bullying. We have enough of the racism. We have enough of the of based on your sex and your religion. Who cares if you're Catholic, you're Pentecostal, you're Christian, you're Baptist, you're non-domination? Who cares? We are a child of one. We are one of God's children. We are in his bloodline. We are all related. We need to treat each one of another that we are family. Let's stop with the kids taking their own lives because they're getting bullied. Parents, you see the signs. Spend time with your kids. See the signs. See what's happening in their lives. If their attitude changes, turn it around. Ask questions. Let them know you're there for them. Let them know that you love them. Let them know that you are there to help them out. If they have a mental illness, get it fixed. Do not hide it. Do not try to, oh, they're just depressed and put them on a medication of antidepressants. Be there for your children. Give them help. Let them know that you love them. Sometimes kids just want to be loved. Sometimes individuals just want to be loved. Adults want to be loved. People want to be appreciated and feel loved. Let's break the cycle. Let's break what is really important, and that is building people up in a positive manner. I just had to talk about this today because man, it's just every time I turn around, people are killing people because they're unhappy. Murders everywhere. Boyfriends killing girlfriends. Young kids hanging themselves, taking drugs, shooting themselves because they're depressed. They're being picked on in school, and we can't see the signs. We can't see the signs. People walking into schools shooting little boys and girls, and nobody's seen the signs. Nobody's seen the signs till people are dead and then they're scratching their head. What happened? I tell you what, if somebody went into a school where my kids and my wife was and they were shooting the place up, I don't give a shit if you're a cop or not. I'm walking in there and I'm taking the damn chance and I'm going to pull the damn trigger and shoot the person that's shooting people. That is survival. Survival of the fittest. He's pulling the trigger. He's shooting kids. I'm walking in. I'm shooting him. I'm saving lives. Just walking around, what are we going to do? How are we going to have this game plan? Game plan is go after the one that's killing people. That is the game plan. Take out the enemy. Take out the enemy. Then worry about the consequences after it's done. But if he's shooting people, she's shooting little innocent boys and girls, I'm walking in, I'm shooting him. I don't care if there's one, two, three, four, 15, 1,000 people. I'm going in. Yeah, I may die, but I'm going to make sure I take somebody with me. If we're going together. You could hold the door to the pearly gates, but I'll guarantee you're not going to heaven. You're going to hell. Take some initiative. You have a badge. You are here to serve and protect. Serve and protect. Now you got some of the police officers, military. You do your job. I thank you. I bless you. I pray about you every day. I hope for your safety. But there's too many people out there that there was no reason why these kids should have got killed. There's no reason. Go in. There's one of him. There's 15 of you. Go in, attack, boom, pull the trigger, let him out. Too many malls getting shot up. We got to fix this. We got to figure out what's going on. We got to figure out why people are killing people. We got to figure out why people are depressed. That's bullying. If we stop it now, we can prevent more tragic. I want to turn on the TV and see something positive. I want to look on social media and see something positive. I'm tired of seeing all this negativity. Let's fix it. Let's fix it today. So say with me, I will fix this. If you know something's going on at your workplace, if you know something's going on at school, you know someone's getting bullied, take them under your wing, put your arm around them, tell them you love them, tell them you'll defend them, tell them you'll take care of them. But let's stop it today. Let's stop the bullying. Let's stop the BS. Let's stop letting people get taken advantage of. It's not right. We shouldn't have this done. This episode is brought to you by Street Volkswagen of Amarillo. Check out their all new inventory that they got. Yes, they got new cars coming in. Go to www.streetvw.com. I'm out.